If we have one pedal that can do reverse, and another pedal that also does reverse, then what would happen if we put this into this? Will the two reverses cancel each other out? Will it come out even more reversed? Will it rip a hole in the space-time fabric, allowing me to travel back in time and bring a DVD player to President Lincoln so he doesn't need to go to the theater? Let's find out. What we have here can really be classified into three groups. There's delay-based reverse, reverse reverb, and what I'm calling reverse amplitude. And obviously I don't have every reverse pedal in the world, and I wasn't about to drop $200 on a Dan Electro Backtalk, but I did a fair amount of looking around, and I'm pretty sure that everything out there, at least pedal-wise, falls into one of these three categories. It's also very possible that I'm wrong, and if that's the case, please let me know in the comments. I love learning stuff, and you won't hurt my feelings. Let's start with reverse delay, since that's probably the most common type out there. I've got this hardwire DL8 here to demonstrate that, and I'm recording the dry and the affected signal at the same time so we can hear and see them separately. Here's the dry signal. And here's the reverse effect. I'm going to be playing that same little passage for all of the pedals that we look at because, as simple as it is, each reverse method has difficulty with at least one aspect of it. And you can hear those glitches in there as it engaged and then re-engaged on the same held notes. And that's pretty common with delay-based reverse effects. What it's doing is taking the input, delaying it, building up a buffer until the input decays to a certain threshold. That triggers it to play back what it was just recording in reverse, last in, first out. And the tricky part for this method is knowing when to cut off and start playback and when to keep recording. With most of these pedals, if we know the typical length of note that we're going to be playing, then we can adjust the delay knob to try and match our time, and hopefully it'll slice things up closer to how we're playing. But to be honest, I played around with this for quite a while, and about 3/4 of the way up seemed to be the best compromise I could find. It's not perfect, but to be honest, those glitchy edges can be kind of interesting sometimes. We'll get the same type of effect from the Boss DD8 and the DD20, the Line 6 DL4, and pretty much any other delay pedal with a reverse setting. Reverse reverb is a slightly different animal. Normal reverb is a series of delays spread out across different times, feeding back and building up into this big wash of sound before it eventually fades away. Here's the hall reverb of the Digitech Polara. In reverse mode, it starts out with a big reverberation and a fully wet signal, and then the reverb gets pulled away, and what we're left with is a fully dry signal. This is very similar. In fact, it may be straight up identical to the reverse effect from the Digitech Hardwire RV7. And we get something very similar from the Electro-Harmonix Cathedral. So it's giving the impression of reverse by reversing the order in which the reverberation appears and disappears. Apparently the Electro-Harmonix Oceans 11 and presumably the 12 do sort of a combined delay and reverb method, so your dry signal gets reversed as well as having the reverb do its thing. It sounds amazing in the demos I listened to, but unfortunately not something I have or was able to find a good deal on before filming this. Maybe next time. The third reverse category we're covering today, and this might be my favorite, is the envelope-based reverse. And for that, I've got the Electro-Harmonix Attack Decay Reverse Tape Simulator, and it takes a wildly different approach. It takes the natural shape of the attack and decay, and it squishes down the attack and then expands the decay. So that way, if we start out with something like this, it can turn it into something like this. And I really like this approach because I get two knobs here to adjust how long the attack and decay are gonna be. And because it's not doing any delay stuff, it doesn't throw off the timing. I don't have to wait for what I play to come back out. So if I'm doing a slide or a bend or a hammer-on, those pitches carry through in real time. Compared with the delay-based method, which gives us this. The reason these sometimes produce unexpected results, and the reason we can't run a reverse into a reverse and have them cancel each other out, is because in all cases, the pedals expect this. That the input signal is going to start out with a pluck or a strum as its peak, and then it will trail off. When the input doesn't have an easily identifiable attack or decay, the pedal gets confused. So back to the question of the video, reverse plus reverse equals, well, let's start with this really simple phrase. Let's take that plus what we learned about how these pedals behave and try out a couple combinations, starting with envelope into delay. And then flip it around and see what happens when we go delay into envelope. Delay into reverb. reverb into delay. And to complete the triangle, envelope into reverb. Reverb into envelope. You know, I actually kind of like that last one there. And yeah, it would be really easy to say that all of this is stupid and no one would ever plug a reverse pedal into a reverse pedal and expect anything but silly noises to come out. But it's just something that I've been kind of curious about. And if you made it this far into the video, apparently you have some interest in it as well. Besides, if we think outside the box a little bit, then maybe those sounds could be useful for like the lead into a song, or maybe in the background during a bridge or a breakdown. You know, something like that. Alright, enough of that. Not my best demo jam, but we're just having fun here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a whole bunch of pedals that I need to put away.